So, it's been a few weeks since my first vlog. That's more than enough time to come up with something to talk about. It's been longer than I wanted, but, well, stuff happened. A few weeks is not long enough for a visible change, of course, not when you're seeing yourself every day, but HRT is a slow process after all. There's a reason transgender HRT is often called second puberty, and we do remember how long that took, right? Right. Even so, trans puberty is still a bit quicker. Everyone says visible physical changes usually start between 3 and 6 months, and most are more or less done by about 2 years, but things will go on as long as 5 or even longer. And I'm just at 2 months, so there's nothing to see yet. But again, I'm looking at me every day. I can't not do since it's happening to me. But someone you see once a month will see things. If they're looking, of course. This is a big reason I went for HRT as soon as I could. And I wanted the ball rolling as soon as possible. Before I come up against what I felt was too old. But there are other things that can be done along the way. And one that is often top of mind for me, especially after my previous vlog, is my voice. You may have noticed I'm a bit all over the place. I can feminize my voice a bit, but I don't practice enough to make it consistent over a period of time. Then too, my GP pointed out my voice is fairly neutral. When I sing tenor, which is high for a male throat. So I don't really have to do much. Maybe I don't have to change much at all. I don't know. I haven't decided. There are trans femmes who haven't changed the voice, so... But what do you do to change it? There are a couple of things to do. The obvious one is to raise the pitch of your voice, but that's really only part of the exercise. Vocal trainers will talk about raising the resonance of your voice. I think that's the right term. There are a variety of ways of describing this, and I don't know what's going to make sense to you. Remember, I'm not a voice trainer. I can only repeat what I've understood from other YouTube recordings. What I do to raise resonance is kind of almost start swallowing. When I do it, I could feel my larynx rising up, and that's what's really happening. Raising the larynx reduces the space for the voice to resonate, and that raises the resonance. Something like that. So how do you figure out what move to do? Well, I think you'll have to watch a vocal therapist video to do it. There are several different ways of describing it, and I don't feel qualified to try and tell you any of those. After a few goes, but you'll start getting the feeling of whatever you're trying to do. Now try to talk, and if this is the first time you're trying this, it'll probably all fall apart, but that's okay. The thing I have discovered is that it might be easy to do, but what you need to practice for is to get consistent and be able to do it for long periods of time, like a vlog or a conversation, and be able to do it without thinking. As for practice, I know I don't practice enough. I've linked to a channel in the description below with exercises and other descriptions about how to do it and what to do and what not to do. I particularly like the one about motivation. You don't want to think of voice training as a chore or a large task. You want it to be as easy as checking social media on your phone. The way I do practice is in the little exchanges with merchants and random people in public. This also has the advantage that most of them don't care what you sound like. They just need to understand you. Very low stakes place to practice. Now, I don't know that I'm terribly good at feminine voice yet, but maybe I can use this video of mine to help spur on my own practice. To be a little bit more deliberate, because I know I'll cringe when I watch it back. And anyone else just starting, it's okay to suck at first, because we all do. That's just how the human brain learns. We have to start somewhere, and it'll always be bad, and then it'll get better. But it takes practice. Okay, so now I want to try and come back with another vlog sooner than the month since the previous. We'll see, I guess.